Good morning. Today is a Tuesday, November 19th, 2019. Danny Designs here, D Squared. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Little change to my story, my plan, my design, and not much though. Uh, as you know, I have been living in my RV and did that 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, and to become debt free, and my story being debt free and move out here on my property, build my own house. And in order to do that, I need to be debt free so I could do everything myself. Bought the sawmill, you know the story. So anyway, so the change that happened, started building my house, and up to this point, sorry about the sun, I have to walk away from it now. So uh, everything's been going okay. It's slower than I wanted. And you hear that about everybody that's off the grid or doing their own work, or hiring it out and all that stuff. It just seems to take a little longer than you originally planned in order to do it right and get things done the way you want and all that good stuff. And you have to get your permits and all that good stuff, and which takes time, because what you're thinking is, hey, I'm going to turn this in, it's going to happen. No, the government or whoever, they don't see it as an emergency. So it takes time. So as you've noticed, and up to this date, I'm right here, still at the same spot on my house build. And when was it? It was end of the summer. I was trying to get the plumbing coated and all that stuff, which we did, and did all that, and I was talking to plumbers and just other people, and isn't it beautiful out here? Look at this. It's one of the reasons I love this place. Anyway, to get this done the way I wanted and everything, and not even fully the way I wanted, just enough to get it past inspection so that I could continue on with the rest of the build, to get the plumbing. Then I could put in the rest of the subfloor, covering it all up, and doing the things, to make this thing keep going. I got the sawmill fired up and cut down enough trees to get enough 2x8s on the trailer right there, so that as soon as that inspection happened, I could start laying the rest of the floor joists, and then start putting the subfloor on and all that good stuff. And I was like, man, it's like, get the inspector out here, and then if one little thing fails, then they've got to come back. You got to put in another request for them to get out here, and then one other little thing could fail, and then they got to come back, and you're spending more money and all that for the inspections, and the inspections all good and everything, but man, if it's just for the plumbing, then what? Then probably the electrical or other structures or just other things that you've got to do, which is fine. And the only reason you really have to have that done is if you're connected to the grid, because the inspectors, if they say no, then you can't progress, you can't go on. And I was thinking, man, this is going to take even longer, because I'm waiting on inspections, I'm waiting on getting stuff done the way I want it to be done, and the only reason you have to do it is to be hooked up to the grid, which means they're electric, and which is fine. But with today's technology, I was thinking, I don't need that. I don't need them. I don't need that, whatever electric company you have to use in your area. Which is the thing, is you usually don't get a choice of which electric company you want to use. So anyway, so I was thinking, I need to make a choice here and decide what I'm going to do. It's going to take me a little longer, maybe, to get some stuff done, but maybe in the long run it won't, because I don't have to wait on the inspectors. I don't have to wait for those guys to come out and say yes or no or whatever. And don't get me wrong, they're usually, good people. They're doing their job and all that good stuff. But I thought, I can get myself a solar system. I can create electricity. That's not a problem, if you just know what you're doing. So I thought, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to now, even though I still have my building code and building permit and everything, I'm going to go ahead and just continue and put solar on there. And I'm going to do that. Well, I thought, well, as long as this is taken also, it's just taking longer, like I started the video about, taking longer, to build this thing. And when I retired, my plan was, my design, live in that thing, use all my tools that I purchased, and build my cabin. And I was thinking, maybe as naive as I was or whatever, I was thinking it'll be done in, heck, I don't know, a year, 2 years. When I finally got moved out here, I thought, and well, it's been over a year in September when I was coming to this revelation of my new design. And I thought, I retired so that I could travel, so that I could go do things. I don't want to just be locked in to building my house, which is nothing wrong with that. I love it. But I want to do other things. I want to travel. I want to go do some things. And I wanted to pull that thing around, and camp, dry camp, and do all the stuff that I wanted to do. And my design was to save up enough cash to buy a pickup that'll pull that, and being debt free and all that good stuff. So I thought, the house isn't progressing as fast as I want, so I need to go ahead and get myself a pickup and all that good stuff. Well, I had enough money saved, cash, to do that, because being debt free, you can kind of do that. And so I decided, I'm going to go ahead and figure out a way that I can get a pickup and start pulling that thing around. So that means I need to get out of that, because if I want to pull it, I can't live in it anymore, because I had it hooked up straight to a water lines, and then a gas line straight up to it, and had skirting underneath it. Well, as you can see, I've started taking everything off, and so that means I was going to be able to pull it around and get my pickup and use it. Well, that means I need a place to live. So, since I was unhooking all that, I thought, I've got enough. I'm going to go ahead and start looking at a mobile home. Pull it out here, set it in here, live in that mobile home. That way I can start traveling, which is what I want to do, while I'm building. And you could, I guess, just live in that, but it's like, to unhook it and get all the skirt, and I had the plumbing and the drain for the washer dryer and all that stuff, and everything hooked up solid and on blocks, so that it's secure and doesn't rock back and forth, because once you're living in it, you want it to be more like a home. And after 4 years of living in it, almost 4 years, I was like, okay, I need to make a change so I can start using it and pulling it around and all that good stuff. So, and when you're traveling in it, it's different than living in it full time, as far as your dishes, your clothes, the washer dryer. So I went ahead and started looking around, and mobile homes are expensive. Used mobile homes are expensive. So I got lucky and I found one. So this is what I've been doing since basically September. Found this used one, and the process of getting a mobile home, used one, pulled out here, well, unhooked from where it is, pulled out here, permits and all that good stuff. It takes some time. And so what I've been doing the last month and a half is getting this thing ready to live in. We pulled it in here, which is real close to where the house is going to be. And I'm living in this now. So Another thing, so I threw out some cash, bought it before I went to California. I went out there for about 3 weeks in September and made this jump to buy this house, this mobile home. So I went, I'm gonna do this, get it pulled out here, and then does it deplete my cash a little bit for my truck? Yes. So I may have to take a little bit longer, but I should be able to save up enough, replace the money by just looking at this. Some raccoons come out and they have some fun. Look, he may be under there. That may be where they're sleeping. So I, threw some cash at this to get it out here and everything, and lo and behold, I'm driving out to California. My car's been good. It's a little Nissan Sentra, 2014, and lo and behold, transmission started messing up. So it barely made it out to California because I like driving. And I had a shop replace it, and it was running okay. And then lo and behold, on the way back home, it broke down in Barstow from Bakersfield to Oklahoma. Broke down in Barstow, pulled it in there. Same, it was transmission thing, so they replaced a sensor or something. So it was running good on the way back, and then out in, heck, I can't remember, but in the western part of Oklahoma, Holbert or someplace out there, I can't remember, off I-40, transmission just exploded, went bad. So the one they'd put in there went bad. So luckily I was close enough that my parents have a trailer, a little flatbed trailer. We're able to get that out there, load it up, take it to the shop, put it in the Nissan place, and they replaced with a new transmission, and it's been running good since then. But the reason I'm saying this part of the story, basically $7,000 later, which the car's only worth about $8, it's running fine now. But I thought, dang it, there goes another $8,000 that I was kind of looking at putting towards my pickup. So the decision I've made now is I'm going to sell that. That's a big unit, big toy hauling unit, and I really don't need that big now. I needed it to live in for 4 years, and I knew that. That's why I got a big one, and I needed the washer dryer, and I needed all that stuff because I was going to be living in it. But I don't need that now to travel. So what I'm going to do, sell it, since I don't have that extra $8,000 which I spent on the Nissan. Sell that, which will replenish my cash for the pickup. Buy me a pickup. Sell my Nissan. Use the combined money of the Nissan and whatever money I have left over after buying my pickup from the money from the trailer, the RV, and then I'm going to buy a smaller RV. I think I'm going to go ahead and get me a fifth wheel, but it won't have to be 40 feet long. It can be shorter. Doesn't have to have all the, this thing has 2 gas tanks, a big old generator. It's got all the stuff that I needed to live in it off grid if I wanted to. But give me a smaller unit, used unit, and that's what I'll travel in. So I'll have my pickup, I'll have my trailer, my RV. So I'll still be doing what I want to do and being able to start traveling, which is why I retired in the first place. One of the reasons in the first place. So now that's the design change. Living in my mobile home, still going to start working on my house, but the work on the house just kind of stopped for the last 2 months because I went to California, buying the mobile home, getting the mobile home pulled out here, getting everything hooked up, all my stuff that I need to get done, getting it cleaned. It was used, so doing the paint, getting all the stuff so I can move in that thing. Then cleaning this thing up, because I lived in it for almost 4 years. So deep cleaning, getting all that stuff, getting the skirting, getting everything ready for that thing to sell, so that I can, get the pickup, sell the Nissan, buy myself a smaller trailer, start traveling. When I decide I want to, and because that's what was the realization. I was sitting here thinking, I I'm going to be here living in my RV, saving money. I'll get a pickup, but I still got to live in that because the house won't be dried in for at least another year and a half, maybe now. I thought that I didn't retire to just build the house. I retired so I could travel too. So anyway, that's what I've done. And you know, the design's changed, and I know the warranties on the transmissions and all that gets, that's a totally different story. But I ended up having to pay out of pocket close to $8,000, $7,000 something. So, you know, whatever, you know, there's all those stories. Well, you should do this, you should have done that. Well, yeah, I could have, should have, you know, but I was stranded in Barstow and then stranded out in Bakersfield, stranded out in the western part of Oklahoma. Just needed to get some stuff done. I had to have a vehicle to drive. I even had to rent a car for a while, all that good stuff. But that's a different story. And you know, life throws you some curveballs. You just adjust, you know, change your stance a little bit. Go ahead and swing away and knock it out of the park. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting ready. Been knocking it out of the park. I know that's not proper language, but I've been doing that. I love it out here. Love being retired, you know, being debt-free and all that good stuff. And you know, there's challenges always. So I just got to keep that stiff chin, upper chin, just whatever they say, and keep getting after it. So, okay, that's just an update of what's happening around here. So now you see the whole place, and you know, still using my backhoe toy, my sawmill. I'm gonna fire that thing up, cut me some more lumber. Got my mobile home in here, got it all hooked up, living in that now for about 2 weeks. And then, you know, keep putting the siding on that barn, which, you know, going to be doing that. And then I'll need to get me some water drains, catch to put in my water system, because, you know, I want to grow a garden this summer. That's all the stuff skirting from underneath the RV. You know, got my storage unit there, got a little solar system, need to get that thing. Just tons of stuff to get done. And I just keep after it. That's what I'm doing. All right. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Have a great one. Bye.